Hi, good morning. So I am here to share to you about the contextualizing top 5 teaching demonstration. So welcome. I hope you are as ready as I am to start learning and have fun. So we're in this together, so let's respect and support each other. So before I start my presentation, I would like to share this to you. The quotation from W.B. Yeats, which means education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. So in other words, think as the fuel to the fire as your education, and your brain is the actual fire. From another perspective, why I have this shared to you is that we should believe that education should inspire people to learn more about things. Ano po, it's not just we should learn something because we need to have to. Alright, so it's just a simple food thought for us before I start my presentation. Now, okay, moving on. So I am here to discuss to you and share to you the key features of my lesson plan under COT number 1. I have here a grade 8 health 8 that I demonstrated last March 12, 2021. So first thing, I would like to run through to you my lesson plan that I have used during my demonstration. So this lesson plan is ginagamit ko na siya during face-to-face classes pa. Alright, so run through ko lang mabilis. So ang part po nito is first, I have here the content standards. I have also here the performance standards. Of course, the learning competencies or the objectives. So as I craft the learning objectives, I aligned this into the MELCs and I created a specific objectives na pasok siya into cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Next is the content. Of course, you need to cite the subject matter or the specific lesson that you would discuss or a lesson of the day. And also, nakalagay din dyan the references. Ano po, other learning resources. Okay, next. I also have here the establishing the purpose of the lesson. So I started my lesson with the presentation of my objectives. Bakit? Kasi it's important for the students to know ano yung mga expectation or expected outputs from them after the lesson or after the discussion of the topic. Alright, next is I have also the discussion proper. Ano po, the discussing new skills and practicing new skills number 1. And also, sinabayan din ito, kasunod nito is the discussing new concept and practicing skills number 2 na ginamitan ko siya ng picture analysis or the game-based activities. Next, of course, is the developing mastery. So I have here a group presentation. After this is making generalization and abstraction about the lesson. It's important na hindi siya mawala on your lesson plan because this is the summary or makikita mo kung natuto talaga yung bata. Ano po? Next, of course, the practical applications of the concepts and skills in their daily living. Again, I have here a group activity or the differentiated instruction. Another is the evaluating learning. I used here a traditional pen and paper test. And last is the additional activities for application or remediation and also for the reinforcement of the topic. Alright, now for this part 1 of the key features of my lesson plan, I would like to share to you the highlights. Ano po yung highlights na lang yung kunin natin? First is the lesson integration, strategies, and strength. So, punta muna tayo dito kay lesson integration. So, first, review lang tayo but I'm sure we are all familiar in this because ginagamit na natin siya. Ang tanong, why we integrate? Okay, so nakalagay dito is to think. Ano po? Is to make the students start to think about why things happen. Number 2, integration also helps the students to answer the common question, where are we going to use this? Third, integration allows students to see the usefulness and the importance of the lesson, where therefore enables them to develop new understanding skills and abilities. Ano po? Now, so let's see these examples. Ito ay ginamit ko on my lesson plan from my COT number 1. So as you can see, I integrated the topic within the subject or within the learning area. Doon sa presenting example and new lesson, in-integrate ko na agad siya into Health 7 from grade 7 kasi this is a Health 8. So, in-integrate ko siya from Health 7 because this is also a topic, okay, yung previous grade level nila. And also, from discussing new concepts or practicing new skills, number 1, I integrated it from Science 7. Another, in discussing practicing number 2, I integrated it into ESP 7. Another, in making generalizations, I integrate it to TLE 7. Okay, so as you can see, diba, I florate it into different part of my lesson. Because why not? Ano, kasi for me, the main focus in here is to make the student think. The focus in here is to connect into different areas of the study, emphasize unifying concepts. Ano po, yung focus kasi is to make the student have a connection and to allow them to engage in relevant, meaningful activities that can be connected to our real life. So, nilagay ko siya into different part of my lesson plan because mahalaga na ma-elaborate natin agad siya kasi that is the purpose ano po, magkaroon ng relation or magkaroon ng relevant yung topic ninyo into another subject. Kasi along the discussion, di ba, mas magandang marinig natin sa mga bata na, ay, yun pala yun. Ano, kasi yung maririnig natin na, Saang part? Ano, kasi hindi natin na-elaborate agad or hindi natin na-isabi na yun yung integration. So, nilalagay talaga natin, di ba, for example, dito sa integration to ESP, nilalagay natin kung anong topic talaga yung in-integrate or kung saan merong relativity. Hindi pwedeng sabihin mo lang na ito ay connected sa ESP. Saang part? Ano po, dapat nilalagay natin sa ang topic, specific topic, and also magkaroon ng connection kasi yun yung purpose natin. Ano, magkaroon ng new understanding and new skills yung bata. Ano, tandaan natin, in integration, student not only connect and create real-world connection. Sa integration, they can also have a more actively engaged learning. Kasi diba, as we relate this into other subject, mas maraming input and ideas ang pwedeng pumasok. Ano po? Kasi yan yung purpose natin is to make the students have a deeper understanding dun sa topic natin or lesson natin ngayon by the use of integrating into other subject. Okay, so just remember, our aim here is to teach deeper, not wider. Ano po? Because as we integrate into other subject, our goal here is to teach much, not many. Ano po? It simply means na our goal here is to teach deeply rather than broadly. Ano? So, yun yung tinatandaan ko pagdating sa integration is to teach deeply rather than broadly. So, what count in here is not the number of subject taught. Ano po? Ang tinitingnan natin dito is how well the student learn to think while doing the learning. Okay, so yun yung why I should florate this into different part of my lesson. Kung saan talaga may integration, I explain it thoroughly agad-agad. Ano po, para magkaroon ng learning and inputs, ano po, para nagkakaroon din ng new ideas, ano po, yung ating lesson. And also yung mga bata nagkakaroon ng new ideas. Alright, so next here is the strategies. Alright. Okay, so for the sample strategies, we all know that classroom is a dynamic environment, bringing together students from different backgrounds with various abilities and personalities. So being an effective teacher therefore requires the implementation of creative and innovative teaching strategies in order to meet the students' individual needs. So meron ako sa lesson ko po ginamit na tatlong sample strategies, which is the visualization, cooperative learning, and the differentiated instruction or the differentiated learning. So look at these illustrations. So from my lesson plan, in the beginning of my topic or presenting of a new lesson, I use the 4 picks 1 topic. Ano po? So let's the students identify what is on the picture and huhulaan nila what is the topic for today. And another, in discussing of or practicing new skills, I use the chain game. So visualization is important, especially sa MAPE, kasi marami kaming pictures that need to be presented. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin sa bata na, okay, so let's imagine this one. Paano mo may imagine yun? So meron dapat presentation or visual representation para mas lalong maintindihan ng bata. And also, yung retain or yung understanding nyo din sa lesson is talagang makuha natin. Alright. Another is I used the differentiated instruction. So ginamit ko siya on the last part of my lesson plan, which is defining practical applications of concepts and skills in daily living. So meron ako ditong tatlong activity, which is the mannequin challenge, poster making, sing a song. Ano po? So in differentiated activity or differentiated learning, it's a good idea or a good strategy pagdating sa pagtuturo. Ano po? Kasi nakikita mo talaga kung saan magaling yung bata. Ano po? So, hindi ko siya, yun talaga ang ginamit ko. Presenting the differentiated instruction. And also, ang mga bata, hindi yan pare-parehas. Ano po? So, kailangan natin gumawa ng mga activity that is suitable for their needs, for their abilities, and for their skills. Alright, now, for the last part of the highlight of the part 1, I have here the strengths. Okay, so I have here 3 strengths na nakita ko on my lesson. The flow of the lesson, they maximize the use of the learning resources, and of course, the use of ICT. So first is the flow of the lesson. So it's important talaga na meron kang katabing lesson plan. Kahit nagawa mo siya, kahit na sabihin natin alam mo kung ano yung pagkakasunod, it's important pa rin na meron ka nasa tabi mo talaga yung lesson plan para kung sakaling lumalayo ka dun sa iyong flow, ma-catch up mo. Ano po? So it's important na meron talaga tayong lesson plan na backup for at least hindi natin malayo or hindi tayo ma-unrelated dun sa topic natin. And also, maximize the use of learning resources. So, ang purpose nito is utilizing teaching and learning resources in class is to assist the teacher with the presentation and transmission of educational content and the achievement of educational objectives. So, we have the common goals here, the student motivation, developing creativity, and evoking prior knowledge and encouraging the process of understanding. So another is the use of ICT. So in my PowerPoint presentation, I used, madalas siguro gumagamit ako ng Canva. Ano po? Kasi mas marami siyang template, maraming icons na pwede mong malagay, and it is also interactive when it comes to students. So if you want to use this, just search on the Google canva.com and may lalabas na doon. It's free, wala po itong bayad. Just sign up. Ano po, may mga free template siya, meron din naman may mga bayad. Pero yung mga free template niya is magaganda na rin naman, and nagamit ko siya for my last COT1 and COT2. So it's a very good type of a PowerPoint presentation na interactive at maganda din sa paningin ng bata. And also, I use the presentation of video nung ginamit ko sa aking lesson. Dito, pwede kayong gumawa or gumamit ng sarili ninyong video lesson. Mas maganda din yan. Ano po? A personalized video lesson. So you can use Filmora, KineMaster or KineMaster, and Adobe Premiere, pwede din. So, you can use or maximize the ICT. Ano po? Kasi maganda din sa paningin ng bata. Mas lalong naiintindihan ng bata kapag talagang merong attach ng technology. Kasi very familiar na din sila doon. And sabi dito, ang technology provides different opportunities for the students to make it more fun and enjoyable pagdating sa classroom teaching. Alright, next, we are done with the part 1. Ano po yung lesson integration, the strategies, and strengths. Now, for the part 2, syempre, hindi lahat ng strengths ay strength lang. Ano? Kasi meron din tayo areas for improvement. So, for the areas of improvement, I want you to watch this video.
Even after I planned my lessons, I'd like to reassess my own strategies. I asked myself, what can I improve or more efficient? What are the structures or system within my class or lesson that are working? How can I use this more? Rather than breaking your day into tiny little pieces, focus on the activities that provide richer opportunities for deep thinking. So, if I would given a chance to have an improvement of my lesson, it goes like this. Number 1, get creative about your resources. Say for example, in my previous lesson, I used this. As you can see, as I present my new lesson, I used a video presentation that I've got from YouTube. So seeing this video, this is very general and very broad. So instead of using a random video presentation on YouTube, but don't get me wrong, it is also very helpful in understanding the lesson. It's just that it is more creative as well as interactive if you can use this. Yes, your own video lesson. Using your own video lesson is a very good idea. Not only does this provide a teacher with a wide range of extraordinary benefits, but it's a fun experience for a student as well. And they will certainly appreciate the entire experience to begin with. And also, using this personalized video lesson, it's for the students to understand the lesson very easily. Specific details, exact information to be fed for them, and you can have an immersive and engaging learning experience inside the class. And before I forget, make sure that you have presented first your process questions before presenting the video lesson. Why? It's for the students have the idea already and to know what is expected from them after presenting the video lesson. Now, if you're having a hard time in making your own video lesson, just always remember that we have them. Yes, it's okay to ask for help. Next, from my lesson, I have this. Yes, a set of questions. Now, for my number 2, turn this into a hot question. Through the hot questions, we are able to train students to think creatively, critique, and innovative. So we need to promote critical thinking skills because these types of questions expect students to apply, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate information instead of simply recalling facts. Next, number 3, get non-traditional. So last time, I have this. Don't be afraid to incorporate something new and different into your lesson. So instead of having the traditional generalization, I think I can make it in an activity that in a way more effective as well as creative, like a game-based activities. Number 4, apply localization. Last time, I have this. So in here, I think I can incorporate the localization. In this differentiated activity that I have here, the localization of the curriculum can allow learning to become more meaningful and relevant. Localization will also involve making the local culture an integral part of the curriculum. Say for example, in this mannequin challenge, the student can demonstrate their experiences in this health crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic, and relate it into their own barangay or place, and by that, they can give their own observation because they are the one who have seen or experienced it. Next, number 5, a learning game. So last time, I have this. Yes, a traditional paper and pencil test. So to improve this, and I also have seen this from other demonstration, we can use also here a game-based activities like this. And yes, that's it. Now, if you have other ideas for me to improve my lesson, you can chat in on the message box or you can open your mic to know what's your observation. That's all for today. Hanggang sa muli!